So just a quick video to help scouts and analysts with some phrases around football IQ and football intelligence as well. We're going to do offensive and defensive intelligence. So what can you say about a player's intelligence? Normally, the general phrase is he's intelligent or he's not very intelligent. But we need to go deeper. We need to explain more detail to really show the chief scouts, the sporting directors, exactly how his intelligence helps him. So we need to be specific. So what actions does the player do to show us his intelligence? So we're just going to watch an example of that now. So we'll see the defensive example here. We're going to focus on the midfielder. Is he screening defense and predict movement behind? These are the phrases we'll look at. So he's screening the defense, but he does not anticipate the movement on his blind side. See the player come in there. This allows the player to get a run off his back, and he's not positioned to see both the passer and the runner in this situation. So he fails to shut off the pass, and the attacker has space to move into between the lines. So one of the phrases you can use with players in this situation to do with intelligence is to screen, to cover. That's just to make sure that passes don't come in and get behind the defensive line. So also another way is, can they see the movement behind them and predict movement in behind? So they'll have a blind spot, but can they see that? Can they predict the movement in those areas? So how do you use those phrases? Well, you can say the player screens the defense well as he can predict movements on his blind side. So like I said, the blind side is here. Fails to screen well is, excuse me, we could do a negative example. He fails to screen well and doesn't anticipate movements on his blind side. So that's a negative example. Let's look at how you can use these phrases then. So you could say that he's slow to pick up on players' movement behind him. He just doesn't see it, or he reacts too slowly. Another one, it could be that he doesn't position himself well to see both the pass and the runner off him. So a phrase that they use is side-on positioning, which allows the player to see both the passer and the runner behind, or at least see the runner in the corner of his eye. And in this case, he doesn't position himself well to see both pass and runner off him. For offensive football IQ, here are some phrases you can use. You can use uses the opponent's blind side. So they will use that defender's positioning and inability to see them to move into spaces. Then crafty movements between the lines is a phrase you can use to show that they have intelligent movement. And also, to be more specific, in this case, plays off the back of the defender. So this is when the attacker uses the defender's body positioning and posture to find space. Let's have a look at a video and see how you can use them. We'll now focus on the midfielder in between. So the phrases are use the opponent's blind side and move off or play off the back of the defender. So you can see he's used the defender's blind side where he can't see to make an unseen movement into this space here. He's just going to move. And he's playing off the back of the defender into the space. He's used his body position and posture to make a crafty, intelligent movement to receive the ball between the lines. And those are some phrases you can use. And this is how you use those phrases, especially in these situations. Uses the opponent's blind side well to receive in between. Crafty movements to find space between the lines using screening players' positioning. So that's a good phrase for you to use when the player's showing a lot of tactical intelligence. Also, you could just say plays off the back of the defender superbly to find space between. So if you think about players like Phil Foden, who are excellent at doing this, Bernardo Silva, etc., they play off the back of the defenders superbly to find space in between the lines. So those are some phrases you can use with football IQ. I hope they're useful, and let me know if they are.